Good morning, we're here at Impilo, a home for orphaned and abandoned children. We're here to meet Sue Kravitz, who runs the place, and she'll tell us a bit more about the amazing work that they do here. We're also very fortunate to meet two adoptive parents, Judith and Gloria, who'll share a bit about their adoption journey. And also, as usual, we have a surprise for the kiddies.
Impilo was started by two social workers in 2003. The majority of children have been abandoned, orphaned, or born to HIV-positive parents. Meet Judith Chakela, an adoptive mother.
Why did you decide to adopt?
Well, when I've always thought about adoption because I grew up as my father was a social worker. So I've always known that there are kids out there who actually need parents. So when I got married, my husband and I decided that we would have a biological child and then thereafter we would adopt. But as they always say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. We had struggled. We struggled to actually fall pregnant, and we had fertility issues. So after a failed IVF cycle, we then decided to bring forward the plans to adopt and try for a biological child later. So we then Googled and we came up with Impilo and we started the process.
So how did your family react to you adopting?
It's been amazing. I mean, all those fears that I had, that will I love him? Will the people around me love him?
Yes.
Will my family accept him? And all of that. It's actually been very unnecessary, I must say, because everybody has been so warm. They've been loving, they've been accepting, which is very important. It's been very exciting.
There's no truth to the myth that single people cannot apply for adoption. Gloria Mamba always knew she would raise a family.
Why did you decide to adopt?
I can't think of a specific moment when I decided that I was going to adopt, but it was always something I considered. I think it's probably very typical in African family setups that children are raised in the home that are not necessarily biologically yours. And so it wasn't a far-fetched idea that I would consider. But what happened is that, I got to a certain stage in my life, a certain age in my life, and I knew that I'd always wanted to be a mother, but I had not yet found the perfect partner. So I contacted Impilo and decided to start the process.
You mentioned that in African families, it's a normal idea to raise another child that's not yours. But I find that with formal adoption, there seems to be a stigma attached.
I don't know why that is, and I will admit that there were people in my own family who said, well, why do you want to do that? But I also say that they're the very first people to fall in love with her and have spoiled her tremendously. So, I don't know, I think maybe it's the unknown and people not being familiar with it. But
how has Kansani changed your life?
Oh gosh, I think like all parents, however your baby comes, it just adds whole new dimensions, a whole new aspect of love. You've loved many people in many different ways. It has provided direction and focus in ways that I just didn't know. It's been wonderful.
Children in need of care from birth to 3 years have a place of safety at Impilo, where the staff also hosts informative adoption workshops for the public.
Tell us about Impilo. What do you actually do for children at risk?
Impilo is a non-profit organization and we are a child protection organization. We identify children who are at risk. We investigate circumstances that the children are in. We assess whether they need to be removed from those circumstances, and we place them in alternate care.
Explain the adoption workshop process. What is it and what does it achieve?
It achieves many things. The first is very important because couples get to meet other people in a similar position as them. Other people who are planning to adopt maybe cross-culturally or same-race adoptions. And they're able to meet other people and then share similar fears, similar anxieties. And it really is something that's important for people to understand that there are others in the same position as them.
What are some of the myths and stigma attached to the adoption process?
I think people are very anxious. First of all, I think people think that when a child realizes they're adopted, they will go and look for their biological family and leave the adopted family and want to be part of the biological family again. And while a lot of children may actually seek their origins, look for their biological parents, it's not really a rejection of the adopted family. It really is just a need to know about their origins.
Childhood should be filled with happy memories. Bonnie and the Impilo children headed over to the Dampino Park for some Easter fun.
So Adi, you're responsible for this amazing surprise we've all been looking forward to. What is it?
We're doing a little Easter egg treasure hunt for the kids of Impilo. It's great to be able to give back to the community. I do a lot of parties for kids that are quite privileged, so it's really awesome for me to be able to do this for these little guys.
So what tips do you have for us parents to entertain our kids during the holidays?
You know what, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Basically, there's lots of things you can do. There's lots of shows happening. There's things like bring out the arts and crafts, just lay down paper, let the kids go mad, bake cookies with them, really a huge amount of stuff happening.
Adoption is a lifelong commitment that has the power to change lives forever. If you're longing to give a child a loving home, this could be the answer.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.